I'm not sure if it was going, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to know what are some other common pitfalls? You brought up a really good point that you need to make sure you click submit at the end of the process so that it's actually counted as an application. Any other common pitfalls? Maybe preparation, what kind of documents do people have to have? Anything at all that could be useful, seeing that we only have a few days and there's Thanksgiving coming up. Just want to make sure that people who are watching this have everything that they need to make this done successfully.
Yes. So I think the biggest thing is to get your paperwork together for your EIN, your entity number. Have somebody that's designated within your organization that knows where the paperwork is for your payroll and all those things, and get that aligned and have that organized. That tends to be the biggest blocker. When you choose the type of training you're going to do, it offers you. It says in person, virtual, or a combination. I tell people always to choose a combination to give flexibility, right? And then I would say make sure, right, that you have W-2 employees, and they're not contractors again, because that will then not allow you to get a reimbursement, right? It's gonna make sure that you have actual W-2 employees, and you have to actually show proof that they're W-2 employees. But that's after the fact, once you start the training. But I just like to make sure that you have those things together, and just know that on the back end. Another thing I think, Chantel, that's a common kind of trigger, if you will, is that people think they need to pay the money up front before they even actually make the application during this kind of period. That's if I had to say, one of the questions we get very often is, okay, so do we have to pay the money right now and then make the application? The answer is no. You have to do the application first so you have the ability to be reimbursed. Then before you start your training, then you will definitely pay for that, and then you can go get reimbursed after you pay for it, right? So people think that in order to apply, that means that I have to pay the provider right then. You do not. You do have to name the provider. For us, you would put the private provider Disruption Now Media LLC when you're choosing your provider, um, and but you would not have to pay up front just to apply. So I think that's something people need to understand. That allows them to be able to get reimbursed. And then I think the opportunity here is that you can not only train your workforce, you have the ability to play with technology, and you can do this several times over the course of the year to really help your organization excel in this age of AI.
Thank you. I have another
So,
question. Can
yeah,
organizations get reimbursed for same employees for different classes?
yeah. So the answer to that is yes, they can. And there's a few ways to think about this, but essentially, make a very long story bearable, the answer is yes, right? You can have the same employees get reimbursed for a different type of class each time. So yes, the answer to that quickly is yes.
Perfect. And we have some time for any additional questions while we have these two experts on the line. So any additional questions, please feel free to put them in the chat.
Yeah.
Quick question. If
Yes.
if it's $30,000 per open window and there's 6 open windows, um, it sounds like per year,
Yes.
can organizations get 30 students, or is it always 15 as the max, but you could do 30 for $1,000?
That's a great question. So it depends on what your provider does and how you work with your provider. For us, there is we do multiple. We go, oftentimes if the organization works with us, we will say yes, you can train 40 employees that we'll work with, and then we can only get reimbursed for 15, but we'll do a leadership transformation with if 30 people are in your department, we'll do it with those 30.
Thank you.
Yes, but you can also do this too, right? And you can also use it to, let's say, since you can only do 15 up to the 30,000, you can switch out employees for different type for training, for AI readiness. Say you can do that twice if it's with different employees for the same thing. So an employer can do a course multiple times if different employees are reimbursed for that actual course as well. So I hope that's clear too.
So you're saying they can do multiple classes in the same at this, not just one class every 6 times a year, but maybe two or three classes 6 times a year, as long as they're different employees.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, so the answer to that part you're saying is, I'm saying is yes, and it's also that, let's just say for some reason you only wanted to do 20 employees, but you have 50 that want to do this, and others want to take the same course. As an employer, you can have new employees take that course, even if you've done that course once. If I hope that makes sense. So it's both. Multiple employees can take different courses, okay, and the same employer can have the same course for different employees multiple times too. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. All right, what other questions are there?
I think that may be I think that may be all. That's great. That means that this session was very comprehensive. So before we close, most importantly, if you're based in Ohio, employees in Ohio, you may be eligible for this reimbursable tech and AI training. The final application for this year closes December 1. So please do not leave this funding on the table. As Vicky said, in 2019, it was a wonderful opportunity. At the time, no one knew how long it would be around. So don't let this opportunity pass you by. We don't know, what all the next 2 years will take us, but we know this opportunity is available today. So please take action today and don't let December 1st, like I said, the final deadline for 2025 pass you by. Additionally, Rob Richardson with Disruption Now we will have the team send over a tech cred strategy call. So that
And they can
spend
call you,
time.
Rob, right? They can call your
Yes.
office, Chantel, to
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep. So we'll send out a link, and that way we can book time with you to go over this application together, so that there are no fields left undone, and everything is done the way that the government needs it to look. So we look forward to setting up that time with you. Tara, thank you for being such a great participant. And are there any other final questions or thoughts or feedback from our panel before we close this out?
Yeah, I'll just make a final thing, and if you can, mute that really quick, so everybody, so I can hear clearly. I would say that, this is a unique opportunity, and you as an organization and as a business have this window in time. It's between 18 and 24 months where the power of the technology of AI is lagging behind its adoption. And what that means for you is you have the ability to bring awareness to your employees, to figure out how to employ it responsibly, and then to get a competitive edge for your workforce, for your business. But you have to move now, right? Because that same advantage won't live, 24 months from now, maybe 3 years from now, when some of the bigger players get to figuring out how they can use this technology, and it becomes harder to really have your competitive edge. So I say this is a moment in time where your employees, businesses can have and really implement this technology to leap them ahead of their competition. And everything you learn now will be compounded in value, where others will have a harder time catching up to your competitive edge. But it requires you to redesign how you think, redesign how you work, redesign how you teach. And it's required right now. Like the world, this is not theoretical, and there's a lot of fear being pushed forward against AI, and I understand why that fear is there. There's a lot of bad leadership. There's a lot of people are just saying, like, we're using AI to figure out ways to replace your people. At the end of the day, this is what I'm certain of. Those who know how to leverage AI systematically as an organization, those who know how to learn more effectively as an individual, will be able to leapfrog their competitors and put themselves in a position of power. So for anybody that wants to make sure that they are ready for not what's coming, but what is happening, and not find ourselves reacting, this is the time to adopt really understanding a real AI strategy, developing a comprehensive approach to this. And it's a difference in like what we do as an organization. There's a lot of trainers, but a lot of them don't have the idea of understanding how to implement AI as a policy, how to put it and integrate it as and actually operationalize it, and how to transform how we work, live, and learn. Like, this is part of what we do. We call it AI change management, because it is a different way of thinking. And we want to make sure, particularly for those, because we are in Ohio, that everybody in Ohio becomes leaders, and that we're able to move fast at this moment of opportunity that's in front of us.
Thank you. Any final remarks, Vicky?
It was interesting with AI. I think, Rob, some of the concern is that many individuals think AI is going to actually move them out of a job. But everything that I'm reading is saying it's going to create new jobs. So that employers are going to be able to keep individuals, but provide them with additional training so that they can stay with the company. And I don't think that's been, I think, published enough. I think it's only the fear factor that seems to be certainly, I read so much about the fear of AI, but there's some good things that are coming out in terms of AI integration too, that I don't think is being discussed enough.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I know I'm saying I was concluding, but I want to say this. Yes, there might be work. There probably will be some level of job disruption. I like to be very very honest about that with people, but what I can say is with 100% certainty is that you are better positioned if you know how to leverage AI than if you're not. 1,000%. So, fear is not a strategy. Hoping it doesn't happen is not a strategy. A real strategy requires you to see the world as it is and figure out how is this going to change what I do right now. There will be some things that are different, and how can I apply that? And then, either if you're working for an employer, how can you be on the lead edge of identifying workflows and helping to implement policy around that? You can become the person that is the new leader in that right now. You have that opportunity because so many don't know. And yes, there's a chance that it's going to cause some job disruption, but what your choices are to put your head in the sand and make sure you're uncompetitive, or figure out how you can apply this knowledge to yourself, to your industry and your business, and figure out how you can pivot as the cheese is moving. The other option is just being irrelevant. So that's all we got.
Well, thank you for that. I think that's put some fire in our bellies, and I appreciate those final remarks. And it's been a pleasure having this conversation with the two of you. We look forward to this recording lasting and supporting those between now and December 1 and even beyond. And thank you, Tara, for your participation and for your great questions.
Thank you. You guys rocked it. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.